Glenn Beck is going to fall in love with Matthew McConaughey here. Listen to this.
Before we get off the Oscars, let me play the Matthew McConaughey audio.
That's great.
Because as somebody, who was it that said, when did he turn into Joel Osteen?
Yeah, he was kind of interesting.
Yeah, really interesting.
Here's a little bit of that.
There's a few things, about 3 things to my count, that I need each day. One of them is something to look up to, another is something to look forward to, and another is someone to chase. Now, first off, I want to thank God, because that's who I look up to. He's graced my life with opportunities.
Stop. Listen to, well, thank God. They're like,
wait,
who is
did
that?
he say God? And then they're like,
Did you say Todd? Is it Todd?
Yeah, no, I think they were like, what agency is he with? Who is this God person?
Sad.
It really is.
That's Hollywood.
Yeah, listen,
I know.
they don't even applaud.
Yeah, no, they don't.
They just don't applaud
oh.
at the very beginning. They're like, God, I don't. Okay, that's
What does he mean by that?
He's making me uncomfortable right
Is
now.
he mocking the Tea Party? Because I'm going to clap for that. Is that what he's trying to do?
I think this is a parody.
Okay.
Everybody clap.
Or not of my hand or any other human hand. He has shown me that it's a scientific fact that gratitude reciprocates. In the words of the late Charlie Lawton, who said, when you got God, you got a friend, and that friend is you.
It's like 3 people
to my
yelling
family.
about
No, the
that.
people on the
That's
peanut
who
gallery.
and what I look forward to. To my father, who I know is up there right now with a big pot of gumbo. He's got a lemon meringue pie over there. He's probably in his underwear, and he's got a cold can of Miller Lite, and he's dancing right now. To you, Dad, you taught me what it means to be a man. To my mother, who's here tonight, who taught me and my 2 older brothers, demanded that we respect ourselves. And what we in turn learned was then we were better able to respect others. Thank you for that, Mama. To my wife, Camilla, and my kids, Levi, Peter, and Mr. Stone, the courage and significance you give me every day I go out the door is unparalleled. You are the 4 people in my life that I want to make the most proud of me. Thank you. And to my hero, that's who I chase. Now, when I was 15 years old, I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, who's your hero? And I said, I don't know, I got to think about that. Give me a couple of weeks. I come back 2 weeks later. This person comes up and says, who's your hero? I said, I thought about it. You know who it is? I said, it's me in 10 years. So I turned 25 10 years later. That same person comes to me and goes, so are you a hero? And I was like, not even close. No. She said, why? I said, because my hero is me at 35. So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my hero's always 10 years away. I'm never going to be my hero. I'm not going to attain that. I know I'm not. And that's just fine with me because that keeps me with somebody to keep on chasing.
I love this guy.
That's great.
I absolutely love this guy.
Fantastic.
It's great.
Where has he been hiding?
I know. And here's a guy who like
Texas.
Texas.
So all you have to do is mention God and Glenn Beck loves you. What a simpleton. And I love the diversity of opinion on his radio set there. His 2 lackeys who try to copy Glenn, even in their cadence. They're like, oh yeah, this is fantastic, Glenn. Glenn, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. I'd like 15 minutes alone with it so I can slowly masturbate to it. And, by the way, that entire speech was awkward in my opinion. And all the thanking of God is, it's arrogance masquerading as humility. Bill Maher described that type of thing in that way once before, and I thought it was so true. He was talking about when, football players score a touchdown or win the Super Bowl and say, I'd love to thank God. What they're really saying is, thank God for making me so wonderful and special and great, and I know I'm so wonderful and special and great, so yes, God, you're the best for making me perfect. And also, isn't it's arrogant to think that God is sitting up there and going, let me tweak Matthew McConaughey's movie career to be better. Really? He doesn't have more important things to take care of? Maybe kids with leukemia or people suffering from cholera or natural disasters leveling third world countries or the war in Syria or what's going on in Ukraine or climate change or none of that? None of that stuff is more important than Matthew McConaughey starring in a movie? it's arrogance masquerading as humility. Like, oh, aren't I so humble? But you're actually being super arrogant in the process. And then when he says, it's a scientific fact that gratitude reciprocates. Really? Let me see that study. Because I know plenty of people who have been open-hearted and kind and nice their entire life, and they get shitted on constantly. We've all met those people. Stop making shit up. This is like that, The Secret stuff that people get sucked into and they believe when times get really hard and they just rely on it as a crutch to get by. But don't say it's a scientific fact. It's a fucking perversion and you know it. And then the I look up to myself part, what the fuck was that? I look up to myself 10 years from now. My hero is me. What are you saying, man? What are you saying? Is it really that hard to just... he's a great actor, don't get me wrong. Everybody, that was even nominated yesterday, they're all great actors. But there's something weird about watching the inflated ego, self-aggrandizing in these awkward ways. Like, it's strange because they don't see themselves in an objective way where they realize they sound douchey, but they do sound douchey. And leave it to Glenn Beck to love a guy who's making absolutely no sense and sucking his own dick while mentioning God. Those are all things that are exactly what Glenn Beck himself does. He thinks he's fantastic, he sucks his own dick, he makes no sense, and he blindly mentions God all the time. He's got a place on the Blaze if he wants one.